Someone once compared creativity to a newly repaired faucet. When first turned on, it gushes out murky water. Let it run, and the flow becomes a little clearer, though still tainted, before eventually reaching a state of pure clarity. The message is simple. Creativity is a gradual process. That said, it's hard to believe that such a process applied to the Beatles. It's as if the water in Liverpool came already infused with brilliance, because the Beatles seemed to bypass the messy beginnings entirely. From the moment John Lennon and Paul McCartney's guitars harmonized, the music charts braced themselves for a barrage of hits that would continue without pause until the close of the 1960s. Their creative chemistry was instant and unstoppable. Even when the Beatles disbanded at the end of that whirlwind decade, Lennon, McCartney, and George Harrison quickly transitioned into solo careers. These new ventures gave each of them the chance to explore fresh sounds, free from the pressures and expectations that came with being part of the most famous band in the world. Despite their musical experimentation within the group, being a Beatle still came with its limitations. For McCartney, however, stepping out on his own wasn't initially liberating. It was daunting. He later reflected that he had gone through an extremely difficult period, one he believed bordered on a nervous breakdown. He recalled lying awake at night, trembling with anxiety, overwhelmed by unexpressed emotions and uncertainty. Yet he transformed that turmoil into something unexpected on his debut solo album, Ram. With his wife Linda by his side, McCartney embraced a playful, experimental spirit, exploring odd tangents and quirky musical ideas that his Beatles bandmates had grown tired of by the end. His whimsical tendencies, once met with eye rolls, now had space to thrive. That album became a blueprint for his work with Wings throughout the 1970s, a blend of heartfelt ballads and eccentric songwriting. McCartney leaned into a more childlike approach to composition, while Lennon plunged into darker, more personal themes, and Harrison immersed himself in spiritual exploration. Their diverging paths revealed the distinct personalities behind their songwriting. Over time, Lennon and Harrison seemed to form a quiet alliance, united by their shared pursuit of depth and introspection. McCartney, meanwhile, continued embracing melody and pop sensibilities, something not all of his former bandmates appreciated. Harrison, for instance, once made a sharp remark when asked whether McCartney might perform Beatles covers in his solo shows. Smiling, he reportedly said that McCartney might do so because he'd run out of strong material of his own. When a journalist laughed nervously, thinking it was a joke, Harrison reaffirmed it, insisting that he meant what he said. To be fair, McCartney's most iconic work largely came from the 1960s and 1970s. As the 1980s unfolded, his chart presence diminished, though the same could be said for Harrison. It was, after all, a natural evolution. Still, considering their immense contributions over 2 decades, it's fair to say both had more than earned the right to take a step back.